Good morning. Happy Thursday. I've been getting a lot of texts and messages from people wanting to know what the story is, how it turned out yesterday. And I'll be honest with you, it was a very difficult day. Probably the most difficult day for me in this journey. But I'm doing better today, and so no chemo. That's the good news. No chemo. The cancer is aggressive, and the chemo's not working, and so I'm going to be doing a Zoom with Dr. Wenham up at Moffitt next Friday, a week from tomorrow, and find out if there are any clinical trials. My doctor's also researching to see if he has any clinical trials. But I'll be honest with you, clinical trials scare me. It's kind of funny how I think. It's like, okay, the chemo was the carboplatin for ovarian cancer is a 50 to 75% chance of survival. So it was my best chance, my best route, and we know what it can do regardless of the side effects. And I know people that have been through chemo with ovarian cancer, just as serious as mine, and been fine, cancer-free today. So that gave me hope. These trials are just that. They're trials. They're obviously unknown to a degree what they will or won't do. And that scares me. You know, I'm striving as hard as I can to be organic and to eat right. I'm reading all the books. Last year I read the book on keto and learned a lot from that, and I've cut my carbs way back, and of course as little sugar as possible. And now I'm reading a book called Super Immunity, and learning as much as I can and applying as much as I can. And so I want to do as much as I can nutritionally, and I trust my doctor. He really cares, and he really wants what's best. He didn't want me to keep on chemo because of the side effects of chemo. So I still have joy in my soul, but I'll be honest, I have, the emotions of the unknown, and but I feel great. I don't feel like there's anything wrong with me, and that's comforting. So I appreciate your prayers. Don't really know how to pray. Just praying for God's will, and that I can be like this as long as possible. I want to live long and healthy, but mostly healthy. I want to be a light bulb. I want my kids and my grandkids to remember me this way, however long that is. And I don't feel bad, so I'm just going to keep being positive and grateful, and I know without a doubt God has a plan for me. He shows me little bits of heaven every day. He's putting people in my life that are encouraging and helping and teaching, and that's just awesome. So I appreciate every one of you and all of your prayers, and I'm just want you to know that I really value you being on this journey with me, and it means a lot. Your encouragement means a lot, and I'm grateful, and I love you all very much, and I pray for you. I pray for everybody that prays for me, that God will answer your prayers for your lives and what you have going on in yours. So many of you are in the same battle, and I just know that God works out good in everything. and He'll work out good in this. I'll be in heaven, maybe sooner than the rest of you, and maybe not. Maybe I'll have a miracle. I'm really okay either way. I win either way. It's just emotional. Thank you for hearing me out and for following me. Love you. Mwah. Bye-bye.